my friends who did not pick up my calls, my fiancée who left me, my mom cutting her two fingers.
Vasu Reddy, a very resilient entrepreneur who turns pain into purpose.
When I start something, I leave myself with no more options.
Never quit attitude that you do possess today has turned in your favor.
My ego is to always wake me up. We actually blame the situation, the environment, there's no opportunity, etc. I think it's around, okay? Unless we look for it, it's not, you're not going to find a purpose. I was never for the money. Right from the starting, of course, the purpose when I started this journey was because my dad wanted some financial help. But what excited me was helping people.
What is ego exactly? Because what is the difference between ego and self-respect?
This guest is a dynamic leader who walks in silence but makes his presence felt. He's someone who refuses to quit until he has figured it out. He's a master of numbers, but more than numbers, he's built people. He's mentored leaders, inspired underdogs, and turned pain into purpose with raw honesty and relentless discipline. His belief system is simple: keep your head down and keep working until the system you build rewards you. A true definition of resilience in leadership. Please welcome AVP Vasu Reddy.
Vasu Reddy, a very resilient entrepreneur who turns pain into purpose. Welcome to the AIM podcast, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you so much.
Well, our listeners are going to find out more because this is going to be one of the most interesting conversations. Let me jump directly to an area which talk about your belief system because at the first 3 years when you took up this journey, you had absolutely no income, or I would say very less income. What are your belief system that still kept you anchored to this whole entrepreneurial process?
So actually, when I start something, I leave myself with no more options. So that's why, if you ask me, when I started business, I was at a job, I was in a position where I did not have to work at all. If I'm supposed to report to office at 9, but I never reported to office in my 10 years career on time. In fact, I reached office at around 11 o'clock. Spend time going for having tea, uh, lunch, then again tea, and then off to office. So actually, I had really no work in the last 1.5 years of my corporate life. But when I picked this up and I really wanted to make it, so I said, yeah, ऐसा चलेगा तो ऐसा मतलब, if you fall back, there is a fallback. Then I would, I may not take it so seriously.
Right.
So that's why I quit my job, though I didn't have to quit it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people said that, it's a foolish decision, why are you doing it, and etc. You can do this part-time, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I said that, if you want to do something, then there's no part-time. It has to be full-time. Whatever you're so keen of achieving.
Mm-hmm. But this never quit attitude that you do possess today has turned in your favor. But it's not easy, Vasu, because the first 3 years of your journey, you had very less income, as I just mentioned, or no income. So, what was that internal dialogue going on with yourself which kept you anchored on this whole process?
In fact, I would not say it's just, of course, there were a lot of dialogues going on between inside. My ego is to always wake me up. I don't know, is to confront me as such. Uh, I mean, I had a good ego and I have a bad ego as well. So both of them, kept taunting me about, what to do, what I'm doing, or what I'm not doing, etc. But I think there were a series of incidents that, every time that I just mellowed down, or I was a little light on myself. Incidents happened that, made me pick it up again, very strongly. It's like my friends who did not pick up my calls, my fiancée who left me, my mom, cutting her two fingers. So I think a series of things happened every time, in frequent intervals. And every time that happened, I said that no, yaar, मुझे तो ये करना ही है. तो I cannot just.
You kept going still.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing, actually. But then, did you question your own self anytime looking at yourself in the mirror that, okay, maybe I could have avoided this or, taken up something else? Did you ever question yourself?
Yes. Honestly, yes. I mean, I think it is not just once, but I think many times.
Many times. And how did you deal with that?
Um, but I kept telling myself if I've lost so much, then the purpose of what I would want to achieve is should stop. And I can't just leave it. It is a.
So, what did you lose
I
in
had-
the process? You mentioning you lost. What did you lose?
I lost friends, I lost family,
Oh, okay. These things.
loved
Yeah.
ones.
Which are actually the treasures, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I believed in relationships and people, and I invested a lot in them because I don't have too many friends.
Ah.
I have very few friends, but I have very dear ones. So when they desert you, then you start feeling that that you lost something.
So today also, if you look at your own journey, more than building numbers, you've built people.
Yeah.
And I think that is the plus point about your entire journey.
I was never for the money. Right from the starting. Of course, the purpose when I started this journey was because my dad wanted some financial help.
Mm-hmm.
But what excited me was helping people. Having an opportunity. I always believed that I'm leader enough. I can do things on my own. I can do great things, etc. Eventually, after college, when I couldn't have the finance to start my own enterprise, I picked up a job, and I did not realize that time flew away so much. But then I always believed that I was better than many people that the people whom I were reported to, the people whom I worked with, and etc. And I was looking for opportunity where I could prove myself. So when I got this, when I got started in this, I said that this is an opportunity where you can actually uplift a lot of people, and that kept me going. And I really did not look for the money. Of course, money is important. Uh, that is not uh, the main thing for me to go ahead.
Yeah. You spoke about your father also, but I think even he incurred a lot of losses in his business, right? Did it create a kind of a sense of purpose and a responsibility in you at that point of time?
Yes, actually, my father, you know, I've I used to compare with him a lot throughout my childhood. He comes from a very humble background. He comes from a village in Andhra. Uh, he was not educated much, but he picked up a profession where he used to supply labor for the Gulf. And around 20 villages around my village, there would not be a single house where somebody has not gone and made a living because of him. And he had a lot of respect in his village and the people around, etc. Uh, that was that amazed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt insecure saying that will I be able to do something better than that? or will I be able to match it up? So but he provided us a lot. I have a brother and a sister. Our education was top notch. We were in boarding school. Um, so when I was living a life in a corporate, I thought everything was mediocre. I was living a mediocre life. So I wanted to prove it that I can do better. And then eventually an incident happened where he had lost some money. They had to pay a lot of people back. And then when he came to me, I felt really upset that I couldn't help much.
So it was a kind of a low in his and your own life.
Yeah, but I think he triggered it. That I need to do something better. But then, it did not happen the way we wanted it actually. I thought that, I just got an opportunity, so things will happen like this. And, we got the logic clear, the rationale clear, the maths clear.
So is that the belief system that developed because of this incident in your life where your father faced a low and even you couldn't help him, that still anchors you today and help you face the grind?
Yes, actually, I felt that um, if he can do it from his background and, with the education that we received and, the upbringing that we received, okay, uh, I feel that, much more should be done. And we actually blame the situation, the environment, that there is no opportunity, etc. I think it's around. Okay, unless we look for it, it's not, you're not going to find a purpose in it.
So was there any other lower emotional point in your life apart from this that you've just mentioned where logic said quit, but you still kept on going?
I think when I think my fiance quit, uh, I think that was a very emotional point because she didn't want to continue because of, she said that, we both were in the jobs and she said that we could have a good life and why get into all this risky stuff, etc. I didn't like that aspect of somebody quitting just like that.
You think she regrets that today? In case you do happen to speak
I'm
to
sure
her,
she regrets.
if she sees the another version of Vasu today.
But I feel that everything that happens was meant to be. And it cannot be any other way.
So you believe more in destiny as well.
Maybe that is also a trigger. Like I said, I don't have just one trigger. Every time somebody triggers my ego and makes me feel that, I'm less off or, I'm not better off than, what I'm supposed to be. And that's when, I get charged up.
What is ego exactly? Because what is the difference between ego and self-respect?
Self-respect, I believe, is something which, which is just internal. Ego is something which is external, which is, it is inside you, but it is not you.
Right.
Self-respect is something which is a part of your, DNA. And
I would choose to believe that ego kind of divides as well. And I think that division is
Yes.
necessary in the early stages when you got to achieve that, and still uphold your image.
No, actually, when all this was happening, I did not realize much. I did not realize what's playing on me. I think everything was emotion. There was no strong desire that, this is what has to happen or this should happen, or etc. But like I said, that once an incident happens, your being an emotional person, you get charged up.
Right.
The emotion that connects with us.
I think that's quite fair in everyone's life
Yeah.
because each life is filled
Very
with
different.
events and incidences, but we hold on to them and then,
Yeah.
don't make the most of it. But do you think one creates his own destiny apart from all this also?
Yes.
Something that you've perhaps done and proven that,
Yes. Yes. I think everybody.
adversity is the best teacher.
I feel everybody can create their own destiny.
You
Uh,
truly believe so?
Yeah. I don't think so. People compromise.
Hmm.
People don't. People don't want to be tested, tried. They want everything easy.
Mhm.
Okay. That's why I think when you have some good people coming into your life who are not really uh, the nice guys, but they test you, they try you, and they create the picture that
Correct.
is supposed to be created.
Bring out the best version
Yeah, yeah.
of you.
So that's when it could be your mentor, it could be your father, mother, it could be your siblings, it could be your friends, it could be your partner. So when such people push you or push the envelope, that's when people actually get into their groove.
So, what would you tell your younger self? And it could be 10 years back or 15 years back. A very important message. What would you give to your younger self?
Uh, Explore everything that fascinates you. Okay, we tend to adjust to the situation, and we settle for lesser things. I think excitement is a very important part of everybody's life. Whatever excites us, we should pursue it.
So, Vasu, the most interesting part about you and that I really admire and like is that you began your entrepreneurial journey, but it did not begin right, correct? And you faced a lot of losses right at the start. But still, as you mentioned, you were anchored to the whole purpose that you set.
Correct.
So, what does rock bottom look like in entrepreneurship, and how does one deal with it?
I think rock bottom is a limit that is self-defined for every individual. Uh, Rock bottom and at the top are two aspects when people become comfortable and people want to quit.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
both the extremes.
yeah. Somebody achieves it too soon, he'll want to quit. Somebody hits a rock bottom and he thinks that he cannot digest anymore. He wants to quit.
Why would a
But
person who achieves everything want to quit though? He would get complacent and get into
yes,
a comfort
so
zone.
that's it. So he doesn't pursue excellence anymore.
Okay, so to quit from that matter, yeah, you cannot always quit the bad part, but you can quit the good also.
Yeah, of course. And I've seen a lot of people quit like that. In fact, in my life, when we started off, we looked up to a lot of people who were very aspirational in terms of uh, their character, the charisma that they had, the way they spoke,
Right.
the way they interacted, the bundle of energy that they were, etc. Very passionate people.
So did you
I
surround yourself with all these
Yeah,
passionate
so
and
they inspired me a lot. Uh, so I wanted to be like them. I wanted to do what they're doing. And then eventually, when I started getting there, I saw that some of them quit. Okay, and because the purpose was what these people inspired in me.
was fulfilled?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know, okay,
But they quit.
but they quit.
So I was surprised. Why would they quit? So later I got to know that it could be two reasons. Either they hit rock bottom or they were at the top.
Or maybe they came to show you the way and they left because
Yeah.
not everyone is there
Yeah, I think it's a master
throughout our
plan.
life. Yeah. People
Sure.
come to play that particular role, I believe.
I think everybody's life is a master plan. Anybody who interacts, who comes across each other, there is a purpose to it. Today I'm meeting you. Okay,
It's
I'm
a
sure,
pleasure. Absolute, yeah.
I'm sure there's a purpose to it.
Yeah.
And eventually, as the days after that passes, this is when you get to know that what was the purpose.
But you've touched a million lives now. You build your own network. What was the breakthrough moment, for that shift to occur and to build this whole network? Because as you mentioned, you're also now touching everyone's life and showing them the purpose.
Yeah, I think giving, okay, helping people, um, making people understand their potential, okay, living a better life. In fact, my journey only told me that this is a path for me to actually achieve this purpose. So when I when I got into a position to believe that I'm making a difference, okay, so it excited me more to do. It kept me going.
So in short, you're not chasing the money, you're chasing to be a giver.
I never chased money.
As you mentioned at the start also, and you still hold on to that. That's great.
I think nobody should chase money. Money will come.
Money will come automatically.
Um, I mean, there are a lot of times when people give you some candies to deviate yourself. But I think you should have the determination to avoid those candies.
Is there any point that people may face where they're chasing excellence and still money does not come? Or money definitely comes if you're chasing excellence.
It comes, but it may not come at the time that you want it.
Oh, it comes at the right time when it feels it can fill up your life.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should be ready for it. Okay, I've seen a lot of people getting a lot of money, and
They can't handle it.
they
Yeah.
were not fully ready,
Yeah.
and
It
couldn't
drowns
handle
them. It
they,
drowns them. Yeah.
they couldn't handle it.
True.
And losing, when you hit a rock bottom that time, that is even more disastrous actually.
So, in this whole leadership journey that you've experienced, uh, and you build yourself to be a good leader, what is the hardest lesson uh, that has really warned you as a leader, which people generally don't speak about?
Everybody who comes and meets you has an expectation from you. Okay.
Once you become a leader.
No, once you become somebody who can offer something,
Uh-huh.
or you're significant enough, or you can make a difference. So all kinds of people come in. Some people would want to improve themselves, so they want to improve their leadership. They want to interact with people who can actually make a difference to them.
But it's an exchange value that we create, right? I mean,
That's one.
human beings are meant
But
to
many
be.
of them just want freebies. They just want to make it and just move on, and etc. So there are a lot of people who come into you like that. A leader differentiates that very easily.
Okay.
He knows how to play, with the people who are greedy, with the people who are needy, with the people who just wants to make use of you. So he understands that.
So
And
does emotional intelligence also play a role in this, handling your own emotions and understanding everyone else's emotions as well? Because a leader has to manage emotions at the end of the day.
absolutely, absolutely. He cannot give, just because somebody is asking doesn't mean that you have to give.
Keep giving, yeah. You know when to stop.
You know when to give, you know when to stop, you know when to actually pull the person still up, put him to task. So you just know the pulse. Okay. Most important, a leader shows the way. Right. Okay. It is not about making everything available, but it is about showing the way or setting an example for somebody else to actually uplift themselves.
So, is there any part of your past which you feel that you're still healing from in spite of all the success that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, many times there's guilt that,
That erupts?
yeah, sometimes, you feel that you wanted to do something for somebody or for yourself itself. Many times a leader doesn't, cannot be, will not be able to do what he wants to do. He has to do what is the most, the best or the act thing to do. It, it necessarily is not what he wants to do. Okay, so there's a guilt, and sometimes, when it goes your way, you feel happy about it. When it doesn't go your way, then you say, at least I should have satisfied myself. So there's a guilt like that. Balancing yourself is the most important part. Which, it's not like I want everything or I don't want anything. That is not the thought process. It's like, what, how much do you need? Let's say just because you have the resource, you cannot be eating the whole day.
Correct, because it's available to you.
Yeah. You need to know how much you require. That's it.
That's truly amazing. One final message to a struggler who's watching this podcast today.
The message is very clear. Don't quit. Don't you ever quit. If you have decided, nobody is going to do it for you. But you have the potential to do it. Okay. Just because it is tough, just because you're not getting it your way, doesn't mean you need to quit.
Vasu Reddy, it was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much
Thank you.
for this wonderful conversation that we've had today.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you.